Hello and happy divisional playoff weekend from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. This smile is not phony. This smile is not fake. This is the real deal. I love the NFL, and this is far and away my favorite weekend of the NFL season, the divisional playoff round. 8 teams, 4 games, and everybody has either already won a playoff game or they're a top seed. So we got nothing left but woofing big dogs. And yes, the Houston Texans are a woofing big dog. Who'd have thunk that? So the Texans are now advancing to the divisional playoff round for the 5th time in their history. Unfortunately, they are 0-4 in that round. And look, when I make a pick here, I'm going to do it with my brain because I try to carry on business with you in an honest way. I can't in good conscience pick the Texans in this game. I knew I was going to get it. I knew I was going to get it. On the other hand, I don't think this is a hopeless case either. Let's go way back into the Wayback Machine. These two teams, the Ravens and the Texans, opened the season against each other in week 1 way back in September in Baltimore, and the Ravens hung it on them pretty good. But consider this. Later in the regular season, the Browns hung it on the Texans pretty good. And look what the Texans did to the Browns. The Texans, such a wonderful story. And C.J. Stroud, do you realize he is not even 22 and a half yet? And last week, he became the youngest starting quarterback ever to win a playoff game in the NFL. Amazing. I think the Texans will be very competitive. I don't think they're going to be intimidated in the least. They have to keep Lamar Jackson in front of them defensively. So I think that right now we have to consider Baltimore the best team in the league, don't we? They're the top seed in the AFC, and just a few weeks ago, they knocked off the 49ers in what could be a possible Super Bowl preview. So right now, you'd have to consider the Ravens the best team in the league. But the one thing we know, the Texans will not be intimidated because they just don't care. Sometimes it's a beautiful thing when you don't know what you don't know. And then the nightcap tonight, old familiar playoff rivals and foes. The Packers and the 49ers. This will be the 10th time they've met in the postseason. That's an NFL record. And of course, the Niners have had the better of it of late. I still think that top to bottom, the Niners probably have the best roster in all of football. But the Packers go into this game with some things going for them. First of all, who would have ever thought that Jordan Love would become this guy? Over the last 9 games, he's thrown 21 touchdown passes against 1 INT. And there have been some mind games going on, and I kind of like this. The Packers have been saying, well, the one thing we know about this game against the 49ers is we have the better quarterback. Kind of cheeky, don't you think? Since Brock Purdy is an MVP candidate. So there is no love lost here, and I think this is going to get fun. Think about the way the Packers have been running the ball of late. They've got this offensive balance now with Aaron Jones. Yeah, ask Cowboy fans about Aaron Jones. The team that wins tonight will be the team that does the better job of stopping the run. I don't think you can stop the Niners, but this is gonna be fun. I want to take just a moment to mourn the apparent passing of Sports Illustrated. Man, if you're of my vintage, this is a blow to the spirit. And it's important to remember that Sports Illustrated was so much more than just a toy department magazine about sports. That was one of the most literate and literary publications that we've had in this country. And I'll say this, in addition to capturing the imagination of sports fans, think of the role that Sports Illustrated played in developing the reading and thinking skills of particularly young people. There are a lot of ways to fall in love with the written word, and Sports Illustrated did its part, for sure. So that's unfortunate. It doesn't look like there's any way that that publication is going to be resurrected. But that was some of the most literate and literary journalism in American history. Not going to be too long before we get to baseball spring training. Astros making some big moves. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And we'll also talk about the 2 remaining Sunday playoff games. Oh boy, you got the Bucks and the Lions. All I can say is, Lions, you better watch your backside. And who doesn't love it anytime that the Bills and Chiefs get together? One more thing to my wife here. This is so great. She had kind of a casual social invitation today, and she said, no, I can't do it because the Texans are playing playoff football. BB, if we weren't already married, I'd propose to you all over again. Have a good one. We're Radically Rational.